Yeah!
Yeah.
Live from the fleece lining of Putin's hunting jacket, it's a bombed out edition of Biz Nuggets. Damian
The
Rollis
fleece
is.
jacket is a place I don't want to be. I don't.
No,
think.
it's very cozy. I mean, he
Sure,
may be a
fair
crazy
enough.
person, but it is very cozy in there. Damian Rollis is on assignment right now in Eastern Europe. So I am joined by Emma. Don't call it an invasion lurking. And I am an invasion.
Yeah, that's about right. That sounds good to me.
Finally, we have something to distract us from the global pandemic. It's our own World War III canteen of Biz Nuggets called February 24th, 2022. We are going to find out on this show why Putin has no respect for the NASDAQ 100 at all. He does not respect it one bit. Emma's going to bomb a handful of quick headlines, mostly about vaccines and anti-vaccine. And I'm going to end us on my favorite, no one else likes this, but my favorite new segment called Business Leaders Take a Dump in the Toilet of Leadership, featuring EasyJet CEO Johan Lundgren.
Ooh.
That was a masterful pronunciation. Are you ready
Yes,
for this?
It was. Yeah, I am.
All right, first, Emma, I need to say this at the top. I'm going to start us off with my best network news anchor voice. I'm going to do this like Business Pants is going to pretend to be a legitimate source for news right now. Are you ready?
Absolutely not. No, I am not ready.
I won't do like Matt Lauer, but I'm going to try like the very like methodical pauses and
I would truly emulate Matt Lauer. Let's go for like, I don't know. Who's a good one? Anderson Cooper. Can you do Anderson Cooper for me?
Anderson Cooper, meanwhile, was like clearly kind of drunk at the New Year's Eve.
They're drunk every year. I believe Andy Cohen is now banned from hosting New Year's now.
It was awesome.
I think
I don't watch
amazing.
usually. It was awesome. All right, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. Ready?
Ready.
First up, from the front lines of the real war for Ukraine, a war of semantics. Here's the headline. What counts as an invasion or as lethal aid? That's right. There is still an ongoing debate about whether walking into someone else's country while shooting missiles from a tank with the purpose of taking over that country is, in fact, an invasion. China's foreign ministry issued a statement calling the word invasion a, quote, typical Western media question method.
What is lethal aid? That is what I need to understand.
It's a good question. We'll come back to that. Investors, though, are ignoring the important debate about the meaning of the word invasion and instead are focused on the bombs falling on stuff. More specifically, investors are afraid bombs are falling on stuff they like buying, like gas and metals and stuff. Harvard economist Jason Furman called Russia, quote, basically a big gas station. When informed about the people also in the way of the falling bombs in Ukraine, Furman and the stock market exchanged confused looks. The market is concerned about Russian exports. The country is a major oil and gas exporter, the world's largest wheat exporter, and a major commodity supplier for things like palladium, which is used in phones and dental fillings. The traders at Asshole Capital Investors have stated they are currently in the middle of a dentist arbitrage as a result. Do you know arbitrage? Dentist arbitrage.
Dentist arbitrage. I'm invested in dentist arbitrage.
I'm all about that. Lastly, you'll be happy to know, even if Russia takes over Ukraine, most of the Russian soldiers won't survive long anyway, as one of the first battles that is happening right now is happening in Chernobyl.
No.
Where the irony of terrible ideas done in Russia was totally lost in the sounds of artillery firing. Next up, for the war's effect on business, will Volvo get enough nickel in its supply chain to continue making mediocre cars? That coming tomorrow on A Business Pants.
Anderson Cooper, move the fuck over. Matt Moscardi is here to take your goddamn job.
I can do a mean Tom Brokaw also, but I did not. I didn't bother.
And to spare listeners from having to hear that, I'm gonna move into my segment now, I think.
Nice move.
Thank you. I'm going to do us all a favor and give you some super speedy headlines that are not about war with Russia. You're welcome. I cannot promise that all of these are uplifting,
They
but
never
I can
are.
promise that you won't have to hear Putin's name once, except for the time I said it just now. Okay, here's your first non-World War III headline. The U.S. is in the middle of the biggest labor shortage since World War II, Goldman Sachs says. So there were lots of stats to go along with this claim, one of which is that there were 4.6 million more jobs than there were potential workers. But all of those, it's a pretty big number, but
That's a
all
lot.
of the stats do nothing to convince me that we are in a labor shortage. This is my official campaign to cancel the term labor shortage. We are not in a labor shortage. We are in a labor awakening. It sounds a little culty now that I say it out loud, but I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, it is.
From here on out, I'm making the unilateral decision to exclusively use the term labor awakening in order to convey whose fault this labor shortage actually is. Pay your workers more, stop abusing them, give them proper benefits, and get out of my face.
Oh, this is just cancel culture. You even said cancel.
Yeah, I said it. I chose that word
term.
specifically.
Cancel
just
culture.
For you. Next up, Amazon called the cops on a union organizer who was bringing food to warehouse workers. The NYPD arrested him and 2 Amazon workers.
Get out.
What the fuck? I'm sorry. Just what's going on here? So, the Amazon labor union successfully petitioned the National Labor Relations Board for a union election at Amazon's JFK 8 warehouse in Staten Island. It was at this warehouse that the 3 men were arrested, and among them was Chris Smalls, a former Amazon employee and president of the Amazon Labor Union. Yes, they arrested the former president of the
Chris
Amazon Labor
Smalls.
Union.
He's like a famous person now because they treated him so badly.
I know. And he was literally delivering grilled chicken and pasta to the warehouse workers in the break room. That is what he was doing when he got arrested he got arrested on 3 counts, but one of which was trespassing. And everything about this obviously sucks, but the one thing that doesn't is that when Smalls was released from jail, because yes, he did get released, he told Reuters that he was going back to the warehouse to deliver more food for the night shift workers.
Oh, nicely done.
Nothing you like to hear more.
Well played. Chris, if you're listening, and you are a listener, call us.
Oh my
We'd
God,
love
please.
to have you on this show to talk about the kind of pasta that you were delivering. Was it like chicken with broccoli? Was it like a pasta with like grated cheese on it? I want all the details. Come, join us.
Moving on. Google is ditching its vaccine requirement for U.S. office workers and reviving old perks like massages and fitness centers.
Ugh.
No need to dwell on this one, but honestly, I get it. I would also need to decompress in a massage chair if I worked in a building with anti-vaxxers.
No, don't touch me with your COVID-y hands. Don't do it.
Your next headline is, the Department of Justice is reportedly exploring if they can charge stock market short sellers with the same law used to take down the mafia.
Ooh.
I was excited, and then not excited, and then excited again, so I will admit this one has me very confused, as might be evident to you. Elon Musk is very happy about this development considering how butthurt he was about Tesla getting shorted recently, which makes me hate it, but I am a fan of likening Wall Street creeps to organized crime bosses. So if anyone has a take on this one, please let me know. I would love to hear it. Yes?
You hated it because Musk liked it.
Yep.
And you like it because Wall Street is like a mob.
Yeah. What's not clear?
Wow.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
Here's the
he's like
confusion.
schizophrenic. I need a scorecard.
Oh wait, where's my thing?
Oh,
Thank
I said
you.
schizophrenic. Oh, yeah. You don't like
It's
it
one of
when
your
I say
favorites,
that.
too.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, Family Dollar is temporarily closing 404 stores after more than 1,000 dead rats were found in a distribution center. I figured
that,
we'd
yeah.
end on an upbeat note.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the way they treat their workers, we already knew that Family Dollar was full of rats, and maybe now is the time to call an exterminator. Haha. Dead
Aw.
rodent metaphors for the win.
No, it's not a metaphor. It's a pun. It's terrible. Also, I'm going to round us out here in what I hope will be a permanent segment called Business Leaders Take a Dump in the Toilet of Leadership. EasyJet CEO Johan Lundgren gave an interview to BBC called CEO Secrets, in which he excreted some wisdom nuggets. Here is the short of it. Lundgren says he likes to take the early part of the day, the morning in particular, to make difficult decisions so as not to be tired or distracted. Wisdom alert number 1. The best time to make important decisions is when you're still in your underwear, unshaven and looking for Advil after a night of drinking. In fact, you shouldn't trust anyone who says words after 10 a.m. They are likely lazy hobos. I'm looking at you, Emma, you lazy hobo.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Here's the next part. Lundgren says he takes a, quote, solutions-orientated approach to decisions. Yes, he said orientated. Okay, he said that.
Good to
But
know.
he's like Swedish, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Wisdom alert number 2. It is important to say the word solutions as often as you can. This differentiates your approach from, say, a procrastination-orientated approach or a world-fucking orientated approach. If you say the word solution in the morning, it also differentiates you from the lazy, lying world fuckers that surround you for the rest of the day. So it's excellent advice.
Sounds like the word solution is the solution, if you catch my drift.
Oh my God. The rat one into this one.
I'm just
I think
killing
you should not,
you today.
No,
You're so
you should not be
welcome.
allowed to speak anymore.
I don't
Finally, Lundgren suggests that you, quote, think like a journalist and ask multiple sources before making hard decisions. Wisdom alert number 3. Don't limit your sources for information to Kenton from the finance department. You should leverage as many sources as you can before making a decision. For instance, ask Peter, Stuart, Thomas, or Gary. There's no need to ask Mela, Mikey, or Sophie. They're women and they don't have real roles on your team anyway. You can even ask your friends or a janitor. Just make sure none of them are black because they would stand out on the all-white EasyJet executive team. That
Oh, wow.
is a real thing and all the real names of all the real people on the EasyJet executive team. They have one black board member and no other people of color in the executive team or the board. It's a wonderful
Very nice,
panoply
EasyJet.
of
Well done.
different sources for information. Those are your excreted wisdom nuggets. Anything else before we get the hell out of here and back to the front lines of Ukraine?
Damien will be back tomorrow. Yay!
Are we celebrating that?
That's it.
That's something we're celebrating? Oh.
Sorry, Damien sucks. I hate him. He's not coming back.
There we
ever.
go. And we're back. That was Biz Nuggets. That's Animal Lurking. I am Matt Muscardi. We are Free Float Media. If you like this, we will be back tomorrow with a long-form show. Damien's going to inform us what he learned on the front lines of Eastern Europe. And that is all. We'll see you then. Goodbye.